Twitter files. What do we know about the Twitter files? Well, we know that apparently nothing. Big, whole lot of fucking nothing. And they were supposed to be this big expose where they showed that Twitter destroyed that wouldn't allow the truth of the New York Post's half-assed kind of story of some printouts that Rudy Giuliani gave them but would not give them the hard drive before the election because he knew if anybody looked at the metadata, the whole fucking thing would fall apart, and you'd have stories like the Washington Post where they said, we reviewed the laptop, even though they didn't, and it's a forensic nightmare, and nobody knows where the fuck these files came from or which ones are real or which ones aren't. So anyways, yeah. By the way, everybody in the chat room right now, show us your laptop. Let's see it. I know all of you, or some of you, if not most of you, have Hunter Biden's laptop. Please, if you have it, please let us know. I know some people, you can show it right in the chat. Hi, everybody. Love you guys. There it is. Yep, there's the first one. There, you know, like, where is it? Hold on, it's coming up. There it is, right there. There's one. There's another one. Up, see? There's Hunter Biden. We found it. We found multiple. Oh, you've got a lot of them. Look, everybody's got a bunch of them. Your dog ate Hunter Biden's laptop? Oh, fine. There it is. Okay. Anybody who has it but can't show it, you know, you can put one of those double the double question marks, the big red ones. If you know you have it but you can't find it, feel free to show that in the chat right now. Good times. There you go. I want Hunter Biden to come out with his own line of laptops. You know what I think he should do is make laptop stickers, you know, the kind that go across the entire back of your laptop, and then give all the money to Hunter Biden, to Beau Biden's foundation. There it is. Yep. See, a bunch of people have Hunter Biden's laptop, and they don't even know they have his laptop. That's so crazy. That's why it's everywhere. The Hunter Biden laptop. You can't not find it. But the Twitter files is going to teach us all a lesson about exposed election interference on behalf of Biden. Now, the Trump administration, you know, the one that was actually in power during 2020 in the lead up to the election, they also asked Twitter to remove posts. They also asked Twitter to block people and remove accounts. And they got yeses on a bunch of those. Now, that's an official government entity asking Twitter to do something and getting its way versus a campaign, which is a private organization. They might as well do a paper about how Coca-Cola asked Twitter to stop some fake Coca-Cola account. And yeah, can you pull down that picture of the polar bear drinking the Coke that shows his penis? It's upsetting people. Okay, like that's it. But let's see. I mean, maybe there's something. And the woman who wrote the book on the laptop she's never laid eyes on. Again, by the way, and Miranda Devine, who's one of the the stars of the Hunter Biden laptop mythology, she wrote the big book on it that everybody kind of continually cites, and it's one of those things where it's like a human centipede of blowing itself and vomiting into its own rectum. That just kind of goes in a big circle where everybody just pretends the facts get more real because they've been recycled enough times. She's never seen the laptop ever, and yet unironically refers to it as a laptop all through the thing. Now, there were 3 laptops allegedly, one completely destroyed, one just needed a keyboard, and the third one had to be left for this dude to siphon files off of, and he was looking at the files as they transferred over, which is why this fucker lost his business, because he admitted to that, and nobody's going to know. Hey, can you fix my hard drive? Yeah, sure. Do you mind if I look through all your family photos like that Robin Williams character in 1 Hour Photo while I do it? Fuck no. I'll go someplace else. Right. So, P.S. $1.5 billion out of China apparently can't afford $85 to pick up a broken laptop. Also, we'll get to him in a minute. The Twitter files. Here we go. Oops.
Wanted to speak first to Miranda Devine. She's, of course, a New York Post columnist. We spoke.
She's, of course, a New York, of course.
At the time, more than 2 years ago, about the censorship of this story. She's since written a book about it called Laptop from Hell, which is excellent. She joins us tonight.
Yes, titled Laptop from Hell, that she's never actually seen the actual laptop.
Miranda Devine, you are at the very center of this story. What do you make of it?
No, she is not. She's not the person who allegedly got it or transferred it. She's not Hunter Biden. She's not the laptop. She's not the FBI agents that allegedly, Mr. Joshua and Mr. Michael. And she's not Rudy Giuliani's attorney who talked to John Paul McIsaac's dad or some shit. She just wrote a story in a book.
Look, I think we've seen quite a bit that's useful.
Yeah, it's totally a lot of, there's a lot that's useful in there, but still.
Not really the smoking gun we'd hope for.
Yeah, there isn't one. All right, there you go. Do we need to watch the rest of this? I will say Tucker's very upset. He was hoping for a smoking gun to unfurrow his brow.
I feel that Elon Musk has held back some material.
See, you can't trust him. You can't trust that guy. He's in business with the Chinese, yeah?
In particular, there's a tweet in which Matt Taibbi says, well, he hasn't seen any evidence that law enforcement specifically warned off Twitter from our story, but that's just not correct.
Yes, it is.
I've seen a sworn affidavit from Yoel Roth, the former head of Twitter's trust and safety. He was meeting every week before the election with FBI and other intelligence officials. They warned specifically of what they called a hack and leak operation, a dump of Russian disinformation.
Right, because that had happened every fucking election in the last 3 cycles of some sort. You might be on the lookout since you're a big tech firm. Right. How would they know so specifically? Well, because Rudy Giuliani was yammering about this fucking thing since January.
And Yoel Roth says that in those meetings, he was told there was a, quote, rumor that it was about Hunter Biden. So
yeah, the rumor was from Rudy Giuliani.
They seeded that information.
By the way, you're right. Hack and Leak would be a new show. They fall in love and they fight crime and also leave a trail of goo behind.
With the social media giants, the FBI did, and that ensured that within hours of our story going live on October 14, 2020.
By the way, an unverified bullshit story that turned out to be false, for the record. No laptop, never saw it. They never even looked at the data itself. They only used printouts, metadata, or it didn't happen.
3 weeks before the election, it was...
It's weird that it was... So that it's been sitting around. Rudy's had it since January. And it only gets in the hands of the New York Post 3 weeks before the election. Now, why wouldn't you know he's been the candidate since the fucking primary? You know, he was actually, I mean, as soon as he won South Carolina, you could have just gone, oh, this is the shit. You could have actually eliminated him doing it early on. No?
Was censored. Now we're finding out a little bit more that there was discussion behind the scenes at Twitter, quite an active argument about whether this was a First Amendment problem.
Right. They had a discussion about it. The government didn't insist. They didn't acquiesce because it was like the Chinese government slamming the door on censorship on the internets.
But the other interesting thing is how little Jack Dorsey was involved. He was obviously just...
Yeah, it's poor. He was too busy losing his shirt on crypto.
Blindsided, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, why would you even pay attention at that level?
By the people under him who were intent on censoring this. And I think we have to point the figure, you mentioned him already, Jim Baker, Twitter's #1 lawyer, who says... he says their caution is warranted. Now, that's coming from your top lawyer. You're going to pay attention to it.
Right, and he was right.
He, of course, is former FBI general counsel, very much involved in the Russia collusion hoax.
Or very much aware of Trump's connections to Russia that he has bragged about for decades.
What's interesting is, for the purposes of today's story, which, as I've said 5 times, is still unfolding.
Yeah, it was so exciting. Yeah, it has since unfolded, and a lot of people are asking why it was even folded in the first place since it's so tiny.
But Elon Musk announced earlier that this release of documents was going to begin at 5 p.m. Eastern. We're now more than 3 hours past that.
Fucker.
And we still have...
And he said there was going to be another episode the next day.
Haven't seen everything that they're going to release. He said, well, actually, at the last minute, we're getting some facts straight.
No, that's not what he said. He said they had to check some facts. And that required Matt Taibbi's thread to actually be a lot more fucking vague than they had intended.
How likely is it, do you believe, of course it's certain, that he was...
Do you really want to show the Cybertruck with the busted window? The big launch where he threw was it a pool ball or a metal ball at the window and it broke when it wasn't supposed to?
Was leaned on by government agencies. Just like everyone who tries to release all the information is leaned on by government agencies.
And of course, Tucker is talking about child pornographers. They often get leaned on when they try to release everything. It's apparently very upsetting to some of the people at Fox.
Yeah, and the pressure has to have been immense.
Oh man, the pressure is under. I mean, he just paid he bought Twitter for $44 billion and then turned right around and lost $250 billion in Tesla worth in the same amount of time. Fuck.
I remember just...
the pressure.
Yesterday, Wednesday, he met with Tim Cook from Apple.
Team Cook. I didn't realize there was a Team Cook. Is there a Team Jobs as well? Are they taking sides? Oh, Tim.
Who had been threatening, even though...
I don't care. I'm just fucking around with their accent. I don't care. I love Australians anyways.
Elon Musk now says he wasn't threatening, but he was threatening, as was the White House, that Twitter would basically be wiped out by being removed from the Google and Apple app stores. And so Elon Musk...
Right, because Apple obviously owns the Apple Store, or the Apple App Store, and the U.S. government controls the Google's App Store.
Musk met in person with Tim Cook. They had a stroll around the pond of Apple headquarters and came out of that saying, well, Apple is not going to do that, never was going to do that.
Okay, so by the way, this is that little meeting with him and Tim Cook where it stayed on the App Store is one of the reasons why all the right-wingers think that Tim Cook is now owned and controlled by Apple, the CIA via Apple, and he's not to be trusted, and this is a rope-a-dope, and it's all about destroying Trump, and he's really, like, the paranoia kicked off, like, I mean, they're all already paranoid anyways, but the level of paranoia that kicked off is gorgeous. Like, it's just like, wait a minute, he met with Tim Cook and they're going to stay on the App Store? Okay, but that's owned by the Pentablet, the Illuminati.
Well, obviously, some sort of accommodation you would think was made between the two of them.
See what I said there? What did I just say? What did I just tell you? These just bloody accommodations. I hope they're nice accommodations with, like a big king bed and a nice view of the swamp.
And perhaps Elon Musk has given us a sort of a tailored or redacted version of all the material behind the scenes.
That motherfucker. They're still secrets. It's a tailored version. They just wanted to get the sweet stuff out.
Because I know from the lawyers who were involved in the deposition last week of FBI agent Elvis Chan that there's...
By the way, one of the greatest names.
There's much more to the story with the social media companies, and that top Twitter people like Yoel Roth, the former head of Trust and Safety, basically the top censor, the top moderation guy, he admitted that in one of those meetings that Hunter Biden's name was brought up. So while...
Yes, of course it was. Because his son had been formerly an addict, and this shit had been floating around of course they're gonna bring it the fuck up. Why? The FBI would literally be derelict in their duty if they didn't bring up, like, some of this might be about Hunter Biden. So be on the lookout for Hunter Biden kind of stuff. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Mark Zuckerberg's been quiet about that. And while in this particular dump of information from Twitter.
Oh, it's a great dump.
So far.
It's a bit, it's a bit pinched off, if you ask me. It left a little rosebud in there for you.
38 or something tweets so far.
But we're dreaming, aren't we? One day, 69 tweets going to happen.
There's been no mention of Hunter Biden being mentioned, but we know he was mentioned by the FBI.
Again, of course they would mention him, you fucking moron. He's a former addict of the guy who's going to be president and who was running. Yes. Jesus Christ. What do you think the dossier was, fucko? Of course they're going to bring this shit up.
To the social media giants. So will that come out in this feed from Elon Musk? Is he holding something back? Or is it just that Facebook really was first out of the blocks to censor the New York Post and Twitter followed suit? So I don't know.
Yeah, Twitter censored the story and they did it like with an algorithm and they didn't even know that it was even happening. They just you know what I mean? They like hook up their car to the side of it. Like, you know what? Their content moderation is being towed. It gets in behind Facebook's content moderation and it just drafts behind it like a car behind a giant semi saving gas. You all want gas? You talk to me.
No, I suspect that Elon Musk has been leaned on and he's kept a little bit of information in.
Oh, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that, for fuck's sake, it's not that he's he just, there's nothing there. It's not that he looked at it and went, fuck. I'm not going to say penis. You can't make me say penis with an Australian accent. Don't make me say penis. It's wrong. I'll just understand. It's not that there's no there. It's not fucking possible that there's no there. It has to be that Tim Cook put Elon Musk in a fucking chokehold on behalf of the CIA and the swamp and the deep state. And now he's got no choice that they're going to kill him. He even said himself, there's a chance you'll get assassinated. Assassinated. I know, her accent is more Kiwi than Australian too, I'd like to say, for the record. So I'm kind of mocking what I'm hearing here. Don't think for a second that I'm doing my real Australian accent. I might not, you got to understand. If I'm doing that, it's going to be a lot more normal, innit? But, crikey. Yeah, but if I'm doing, I'm doing a fucking comedy accent. Get on with you. Come on.
Reserve.
Yeah, well, there are still thousands of pages of Warren Commission documents under seal, so.
Yeah, the Hunter Biden story is totally just like the JFK story. I can't wait for Oliver North to do his behind the scenes of the whole thing. Shut the fuck up, the Warren Commission. Jesus Christ.
That would be consistent with the way things work in this country.
That would be consistent with the way things work in this country. Yes. Tucker Carlson can't sleep at night because he's worried about who killed JFK and how accurate Oliver Stone's bullshit was.
Divine, thank you so much. Great to see you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for being here and actually giving us nothing except driving up the paranoia factor on Elon Musk and obviously making it so that our crazier QAnon people might be, more likely to take up arms. Jeez, so fucking stupid. That's glorious. But that's the state of it, I would like to say, for the record.